Hi folks, we are working on the roof project again on the DIY oak porch build. Now today's job is to build the firring strips, which will be the tapered timbers, which will give us the fall we need on the roof. So I'm going to have a go at making those up. Stick around, we'll see how we get on. Now there's a few ways of doing a flat roof. The first being you install your roof timbers just on an angle from wall plate to wall plate, the whole lot's on an angle, which gives you a sloping ceiling like it is here. Now we did that for various issues with the height of the building, and the insulation is within the joists and underneath it. So your fall of your roof is just dictated by that. The other option, or second option, is to do what we're doing today, which is to install your joist completely level, and then what we'll do is we'll cut some firring strips, which basically are tapered timbers which sit on the joists, is all perpendicular to them, and that will give us a fall that we want. So you end up with a flat ceiling inside, level ceiling inside, and the fall on the roof. And then the third option, which is pretty much preferred, especially if you've got the scope to do it, is to do your level joists and your level deck, and then you can actually use, if you're doing a warm roof where you've got your insulation on top of that deck, you can buy your insulation with the fall already in it. So that's factory set and everything will be, I guess, designed for the job. So those tapered insulation sheets will actually do the whole job for you. Right, not having done this before, I've researched a few methods. Now I've just played around on the bandsaw, just a simple straight through, and it works quite well. Now the best way to do it, so I just did that by eye, but the best way to do it is to attach it to a square board on an angle, and then we'll just ride the square board against the fence. You can do exactly the same thing on the table saw. Other thing I was thinking is I could just clamp these together just so I've got something for the saw to ride on, and then use the circular saw or the track saw to go down instead. I'm going to cut them to length first. These are, I think, 70mm, which is perfect because we want a 35 to nothing fall. So I'm hoping we should be able to just do it with the track saw, albeit with a blunt blade. I did notice a weight difference, but if you look at these, both of these are from Builders Merchants, from Build Base. Pretty tight growth rings there, and decent weight to it. Exactly the same dimension timber from Wicks this morning. Now I don't claim to be a timber nerd, but for what is sold is exactly the same dimensions, and it's about twice the price. But hey, I was running short. Anyway, let's get back to where we were. That's going to be painfully slow. I know the blade is old and pants in this track saw and I need a new one, but this is not the quickest way to do it. But I guess it is a way to do it. So at this point the microphone battery ran out, so I'll explain a little bit about the process. I've taken the piece I cut with the track saw, which I know, although was slow, is accurate. I'm then going to use that against the fence of the bandsaw. So with this blade on the bandsaw, it'll rip quickly and cleanly, and by using the tapered section against the fence, it's basically telegraphing or transferring that angle onto this new piece of timber. And bearing in mind I'm aiming to cut down 35 to nothing tapers, I can actually end up getting 4 out of one piece of wood. Well, I do believe that's a success. Works perfectly by putting the first strip on the next. The only thing is you really need a feather board or some sort of method of holding it against the fence tight to keep them together and stop the wandering. Super quick as well. Once you've done one angle cut, you just can run the flat side of it against the fence and you get 2 out the same. So I'm getting 4 out of every 70mm board here. So we cut our furring strips in the workshop, as we saw in the previous one of the previous videos. They tapered down, and in contrast to the flat roof that we did last year, where all the joists are actually pitched, the flat roof joists, in this instance we've gone completely level and flat with them, and then we installed these over to give us our full. Now I've spaced them about every 400, and I've got a couple spare to go up to the roof light and the other side. 2 more down this side, which we'll install in a minute. That is not going anywhere. Now fortunately those nail heads had sunk in below the surface, so I was able to go over afterwards with the plane, and I wanted to plane down to make sure everything was level across all of the furring strips, or even better, a very slight fall away from the centre of the roof so it would not build up behind that roof line. Here's a little look at our roof build up whilst we're here. So we've got our joists doubled up, which are perfectly flat, and then you can see this tapered furring strip between the OSB and it, and then OSB goes on. So I know we've jumped around a little bit over the last 3 videos, but we've now got the correct fall on the roof, we've got the upstand fitted, and in the next video we'll be moving on to getting the EPDM rubber roof fitted and getting towards getting the roof light installed. So thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.